Hi guys, my name is Johnny and I'm going to show you how I went from managing my vending machine through Nayax's dashboard to finally just having a conversation with it. Hi, how is my vending machine doing this week in sales?
This week, your machine did 34 vends for about $222.50. Monday, the 20th, was your best day by far, with 12 vends and $75, and things have been trending up again toward the weekend, with Wednesday and Thursday picking back up.
So now I'm going to show you the 4 steps that I've taken to put this together in my stack. So first I used Claude Design to put this together, and I also used Claude as well to kind of wire this all up. Second, I used Nayax. So you have to go into their developer portal, request your API keys, and then third, what I did was then I deployed everything on Vercel and created the databases and deployments there, and then finally using Work OS to create an MCP server. So first, I used Claude Design to build out my visuals. So it's over at claude.ai/design. And so you can just have a conversation with it, kind of put together what look and feel you want from the design, and you can just have a conversation with it, put that together. Once that's done, I went ahead and I went to my Nayax dashboard. So you have to go into your backend on Nayax here, and then what you're going to go do is head over to your customer portal, and then you're going to create a ticket, and then you're going to request the different keys and access that you need. So you will just create the API keys, but you also have to reach out to customer service to kind of get them to enable those keys. So hopefully they'll make it a little easier to kind of enable that access, but it is in the realm of possibility. And then third, I went and built this all in Vercel. So once I got those keys, I went in and then I built everything in a Claude Code environment. So the easiest thing that I did was back in my Claude Design, I would hit share, create the Claude Code, copy the prompt over, and then I would actually create a new repository on GitHub, and then I would go ahead and begin the development on that. And then once I was done, I deployed it on Vercel. And then you can actually also buy a domain on Vercel. And so what you get is eventually a website that looks like this. And so this is actually a live site that I put together. So even up to this point was really just creating a visual design system that I liked. And I just took some views somewhere, maybe took me a couple hours to put it together, found something that I really liked, and then got the keys because that's really important to kind of embed that in. And then I wired it all up on the Claude Code side, and then I used Vercel to deploy that via MCP, so which is as easy as just asking it to deploy after some setup. But then once you kind of get there, you get SlowVend. So if you head over to slowvend.com, you can actually see that we have our one machine that we have, and we've built over this thing called SlowVend Intelligence. This was really important for me because I wanted to actually own the data that I have on the vending machine. So I created my own dashboard. So you may have remembered that in the beginning of the video, I showed you a screenshot of what the Nayax dashboard looks like. It's great. It probably mirrors a lot of the information that already exists, but what this does is that it's actually keeping all of this data on my own server, or at least off of Nayax. And then more importantly, I've started creating things that I thought was useful. So like alerts, sales reports, even tax documents, so that way I could submit for tax payment. But what's great about having all of this in here is that the data lives on the SlowVend servers, and I can actually chat with it in the dashboard. So this is the very beginning of like me exploring like what's it like to kind of like chat with it. So I can even ask it in here, how was sales this month? And it's wired using Haiku, so it's just making basic inquiries. And I thought this was a great start, but this is what brings us to the 4th step. So the thing is with tools and AI is that they're just as good as the interface that the people use them on. So then I realized is that if you're wanting to get other people to use your fleet, maybe you want to connect them to an AI tool that they already use. So like say for example, ChatGPT or Claude in their own environment. So this is where step 4 comes in, and this is Work OS. Now Work OS allows you to create MCP servers within your system. And so what I did was I went and I simply asked Claude Code to go ahead and implement this, created a free Work OS account. And so now when you go into my dashboard, I also had it wire up instructions for me and also other users to be able to add this themselves. When we go into settings, you'll see that I've created an API tool here just to check your access, but more importantly, the MCP setup. So here we are looking at this, and you would just simply connect this. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you what I did. So I'm gonna go to Claude settings and then go into my connectors, and then it's already here, and it's Slovend. And so once you kind of set this up, it actually does a Google SSL authentication, and then you kind of grant it, whatever permissions you want on there, and then make sure that your connector is enabled in here, and then you can just have a conversation with this. Now, I don't even have to use my desktop. I can actually use the app on my phone and actually have a conversation with my vending machine. So where do we go from here? I've built this out of some pain points and the desire to create a better user experience, to own my data, and I think this is something that we could still build on if there's a community big enough with vending machines that use Nayax. So that's one way to do it, is to go ahead and put your name and information here at slovend.com. There's a early access thing that I'm putting. I might do a handful of users to see if they want to kind of experiment with this and see if there's any interest with that. 2, you can drop comments or questions in the YouTube video. I'll try my best to answer them. Or 3, I also do some consulting work around AI. So you can also head to my website, also in the description in the video. But thanks for sticking around. Thanks for watching. Until next time.